Hey everybody, this is Walt Hester with the Estes Park Trail Gazette. We are in Pagosa Springs, and I'm talking with...
Lanier Allen of Naked Women's Racing.
There we go. I am actually in the river with a naked woman racer. So, tell me about how did you get inspired to race?
I think it was mainly that I was racing people on bike paths, and I found that was probably really unsafe and a bit inappropriate. So I found a more appropriate channel for my competitive instincts.
Okay, that's probably a good idea and something I should probably look into. So, those of us who have a good ear for such things notice that your accent is not from Colorado. Where are you from?
Oh, I am from Georgia originally. Moved to Colorado 18 years ago, married a Colorado native, and he is a history teacher. So he has told me that he is certified to give me a test to make me a native. So I am officially now a native Coloradan.
I have a similar story with my wife. So how long have you been racing now?
This is my third season.
Okay. And you are Cat 3?
I am a Cat 3.
Would you explain to folks what that means?
Yes, in amateur racing, and this is amateur racing, we have different levels of ability. And in order to move, you start as a beginner for women in Cat 4. You move up to Cat 3 after you have some success in races. And then hopefully you can move up to 2 and 1 with more success. So it involves winning races, accumulating points.
Okay. So you were mentioning some good stuff about your team, some philanthropic stuff your team does. Can you tell me that again?
Absolutely, I'm thrilled to talk about it. Naked Women's Racing not only is an organization of 70 fantastic female athletes. We also do charity work. The main focus we have is on Ride for Reading. Each spring this year we delivered over 3,000 books to underserved kids in 2 inner city schools in Denver. It was an amazing experience. These kids don't have books in their home, and they were so happy to get these books. They cheered us when we were coming in. I can't tell you how heartwarming it was.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to racing. You are obviously not some teen phenom. You have a real life. How hard is it to balance real life with amateur racing?
It does take some creative scheduling. I do a lot of my training very, very early in the morning. I'm talking 5 o'clock to 5:30, so that I can get my workout in before I go to work, get my kids taken care of, and I know I'm not alone in those challenges. But when you're motivated and you're having so much fun, you make it work.
What is, during the race season, what's a typical week like for you?
Training-wise?
Yeah.
Let's see. Usually Friday and/or Saturday. Saturday and/or Sunday are races. So those are the hard efforts. Monday is usually a recovery ride. That's an hour easy. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's usually a yoga class in there or 2 during race season. Maybe a little bit of core work, a sprint training, and possibly a kind of hill repeat type effort. I don't fit all of that in. I do have a wonderful coach who helps me try to plan that in, and is great about working with my schedule.
What is an off-season week like?
It depends on what time in the off-season. If it's after race season ends for road, I should mention there are obviously different types of racing, but For me, I'm primarily a road racer. Off-season begins in fall, but I've discovered cyclocross, which begins in fall and goes, which is completely fun. I do that a little bit more for fun, so I still consider that off-season. I start in the winter doing longer rides on the weekends. Whenever I can get outside, I do on the weekends. And a lot of times in Denver, you can. And during the week, kind of the similar, I do more strength training getting ready for race season. So I try to do at least 2, if not 3, strength training workouts during the week.
All right. That's great. How many children do you have?
2.
2 children.
2 girls, 12 and 8.
And are you trying to encourage them as well?
Absolutely. With varying levels of success. I do have my 12-year-old is a competitive soccer player and very into soccer. She tells me, Mom, cycling is your thing and soccer is my thing. But I'm very proud of her. My youngest daughter is 8 and a half, and she's into gymnastics and has been successful in gymnastics so far, but she just told me that she wants to be a bike racer like Mom when she gets too old for gymnastics.
Oh no. Okay. So you're here training, having a good time?
Yes, and that's what's been interesting. I'm having a blast. I love Ride the Rockies. I've done it. This is my 4th year doing it. I have some teammates with me. It has turned into, it's turned into something I trained for. Now it is part of my training for racing. So, but it's fun to do. Lots of great people. They raise money a lot of money for great charities too. So that's a good cause.
Okay. Now back to racing and specifics. We know that Bob Roll was a bit of a rolleur, and Ron was a lead-out man and a sprinter. Do you have a specialty?
Well, it's a great question. I'm such a beginner racer. This is my 3rd season. Anything I don't do well, I really am working hard to do well. So, but yeah, if I had to pick something, it would be descending. I can lead out my tiny climber teammates in a descent like nobody's business. I've always been able to do that. I'm getting a little bit of a sprint, so I've done a few lead outs for a teammate in Durango, Maria Santiago, who took 3rd at Gila in the 3-4s at Gila this year. So I went down as her domestique, and it was like a 4-day for us. It was 4 days because we're 3-4s, but it was like race camp. It was I learned so much, and it was just so fun. So for someone who's only seen these race tactics played out on TV, it was really fun to dip my toe in and try a few things.
So is it safe to say that you would encourage other women to get involved in this?
Oh, absolutely. And I think there are so many. The good thing is that our local chapter of the USA Cycling Organization, BRAC, is really encouraging women in Colorado and Wyoming to start racing. They've started mentoring races for women who are new to racing. We've seen a lot of interest from women, and it's just it's a fun community. I've made a lot of great friends. I can't recommend it highly enough.
If someone wants to find out more about your team, where do they go?
www.nakedwomensracing.com.
Okay, and I think they would go to USA Bicycling. Is that what it is?
Yeah, if they Google bicycle racing of Colorado, okay, they'll get to the website.
Okay.
I don't know the exact name.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I think we're about out of time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.